Hello, and welcome to the Spiritualist Circle of Light. Thank you for joining us. We would like to open with prayer. May God, who in the mystery of his vision and power transforms his white radiance into his many-colored creation, from whom all things come and into whom they all return, grant us the grace of pure vision. Amen. Typically, this is our time for sharing. After all, our service is about you. And, well, let me see here. Had a particularly interesting experience. I've been toying with the idea of expanding the idea of empathy. We are hosting a class based on the Facets of Healing book. And during the research for that, it was discovered that there are energy fields within our environment, and that through these energy fields, information flows back and forth. So with that, thinking of empathy, which is focused on emotions, the idea here is that we can communicate through that exchange there. We're only aware of one side of the flow of information, feelings, the emotions of others. However, we can expand that to where there's an information exchange. And I was doing that with someone, and in this particular instance, the information I received was them behind tall grass. Now, there's a lot of ways that we could interpret that, but the thing to keep in mind is that the mind communicates best through abstract images, symbols, if you will, which is why we pick up on them so easily. So this tall grass, green, the field behind it was blue, and then there's this person behind the tall grass, not quite hiding, but not quite revealing either, kind of in between. It was an interesting experience, one of many that I have attempted to do when reaching out through the emotional fields. So if there's anything you would like to share with us, you can send it to us through Messenger or through an email. We would be happy to hear from you and to add you to our list so we can try and keep you informed with what's going on. So as we progress with our service, we are moving into our healing portion of the service. I will say a prayer of healing and then recite our healing affirmation. And while I do this, if you could keep these names in mind: Heather, Jeannie, Teresa, Marty, Pete, Paul, Josh, Valerie, Shirley, Brad, Jessica, Marie and husband, Anita, Ernest, Colin, Bobby and Mark, Keegan, Dawn, and Cheryl. We call upon thee, Father, Mother Gods. We ask that the healing power should emanate forth, that the light should travel forth to bring clarity to those who are in confusion, to bring direction to those who are lost, to bring healing to those who are ill. We ask that this light emanate even further to touch those who are out in the streets, who find themselves or believe themselves to be without a home, to reach out to touch those in the nursing homes, in the hospitals, in the rehab centers, medical facilities, to touch those who are in positions of authority, to bring clarity, to bring compassion. We ask these things and much more, for like the man weak and old, who was sick and was told, take thy bed, rise and walk, you are whole. God will help us today in the same loving way. Faith in God brings us blessings untold. God is healing us now with his infinite power. We can feel Jesus' presence by us. What a wonderful peace that God's love brings to us, for we are whole and free. God bless. Now for our guided meditation, we ask that during this time continue to keep these things in mind, for where the mind goes, so does the healing power. We also ask that you remember your experience of love. Remember that time you felt love. And then when you feel that sensation, you remember that sensation, rest there. Relax. Allow mind to entertain you with its travels. This is normal. This is the nature of mind. After you have settled in your space, remember love. Remember the feel of love. Remember love's sensations. Remember love's warmth. Remember love
Rest in love's embrace. Immerse yourself in love. Marvel at its colors, its memories. There are no thoughts here, only experience, only a sensation, only feeling, only love. Cleanse yourself of the day's diatribe. Wash away the annoyances, the troubles, the disappointments. Heal yourself of illness. Replenish yourself. Play. From somewhere, a sensation of need calls to you. It is the desire to share what has been discovered. Mind reminds you of those around you, of those who support you, of those who love you. There is no opening to move towards, no light, no direction. Only a desire to be among those who share their love with you, and a desire to share yours with them. Before your return, a cup rests upon a stone. This is our gift to you. Drink deeply of its contents. Fill yourself with our love. Now you are ready to return.
Well, this would be an opportunity for you to share your experience through the meditation. As we progress with our service, this is our time for messages from those who have gone to one of life's other rooms. If you would like a message, please contact us through Messenger. We have a Facebook page, Spiritualist Circle of Light. You can contact us. We interpret dreams as well. You may also email us. Just look towards the bottom of the screen. You will see the email address. You may also visit us at our website as well. As we continue, we're going to go into our lesson. We are still discussing the Gnostic book of the secret book of John. We are speaking of spirit, not as if it were of the departed, but on a different quality, a different time. Spirit, in its Latin form, spiritus, means breath. Breath is to inhale and to exhale. This is the process of life. But more precisely, this is how to experience life, because experience is information. And in order for information to be useful, there must be some level of intelligence. Thus, spirit is light. It is the divine light of the experience of life. Now, in many of the old cultures, and when I say old cultures, I'm referring before Christianity took hold. We're not speaking any ill of that tradition. If it works, if it is working for you, please continue with it. But what we are speaking about is what the term spirit meant in the old cultures. Again, breath and life. And in the Gnostic secret book of John, it tells us that spirit is light. Now, unfortunately, in some of our earlier writings, we mistakenly said that light represents the intellect. Well, this is incorrect. Light represents intelligence. The difference between the two, and there is a difference. On the one hand, we have the intellect. These are the tools. And then on the other hand, we have intelligence. And this is the application of the tools. Think of it as a screwdriver and how to use a screwdriver. So light is intelligence, and intelligence is experience. So we're going to make this even more complicated. If you were not confused before, you probably will be after this. So, it, meaning spirit, light, is illimitable because no one is before it to give it limits. Undifferentiated because no one is before it to differentiate it. Immeasurable because no one has measured it as though existing before. And invisible because no one has seen it. So no one can be before light. Why? Because light reveals. To be before light is to be unrevealed, is to be hidden. And light does not hide. Light illuminates. And light cannot illuminate light. You cannot illuminate what is already illuminated. You cannot see, you cannot unsee, or you cannot see again what everybody has seen. When you see it, you see it. When light shines, it doesn't make a difference how many lights you have. The illumination is there. The light can be brighter, but that does not mean that the information has changed any. So, this means that light cannot be contained because light only reveals. It reveals what is hidden. If you contain it, nothing is hidden, therefore it is not contained. It sounds confusing, but the idea here is what is revealed is revealed. Light cannot be differentiated. It can be separated. We like to say that, but separation is, differentiating one thing from another. The personality has different aspects. We as individuals have different aspects. That's differentiating. Light, however, is composed of spectrums. But spectrums, each spectrum is not light. It is an aspect of light. You cannot have that simple little spectrum there without having the rest of it. Without light, there are no spectrums. Without spectrums, there is no light. Now, we can see the different spectrums. We can focus on the different spectrums. Ultraviolet light. We can focus on it, but it is still part of light. It is still the light. It's like the personality. You can focus on one aspect of the personality, but it is worthless without the rest of the personality. It's just a small portion of it. So, and light is immeasurable. Intelligence. When did we become intelligent? I don't know. I don't know when I became intelligent. I can say, well, at this age, but I really don't know. When did humankind become intelligent? We cannot point to a spot and say, right here is when we became intelligent, is when we experienced intelligence. Now, we can say that I can't say we can say, we'd like to say we can measure intelligence through testing. But, you can and you can't. You can measure aspects of intelligence, but the most difficult part of measuring those aspects is that we cannot agree on what intelligence is. Is it logical thinking? Some cultures view it as the level of imagination, the ability to imagine. Others measure it through visual, spatial reasoning, and and still, others refer to it as common sense. And then there are different intelligences. There's just not intelligence. No, we have the logical intelligence, we have the emotional intelligence, we have social intelligence. What does intelligence look like? We don't know. I don't know. We see the results of intelligence. I am speaking to you via Zoom, a recording through Zoom. This occurs because of intelligence, people of intelligence. But it's like light. We only see what light reveals. That's the only way we know light is there. We do not see light. And I'm not talking about a light bulb. The sun, we see the sun, but we don't see the light of the sun. We see the ball of fire, for lack of a better word. I'm sure there's more to it. But you see, we do not see light. We see its effects. Think of it as gravity. We don't see gravity, but we see its effects. You you hold something up and then you drop it. You let go of it, it falls down. We see the effects of gravity, but we don't see gravity. Now, light permeates all. Darkness does not hold back the light, but light illuminates the dark. And illumination is comprehension. Understanding cannot be measured because our understanding changes all the time. With new information, we understand differently. We can say we test we test comprehension. I mean, we read, they can test us on what we've read and how to apply what we've read, but are we truly testing comprehension? Do we truly understand? It's like reading the secret book of John. It's this line, for instance, these sentences. Therefore, it has no part in an aeon. Time does not belong to it, for one which participates in an aeon has been formed by others. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. Do we comprehend? You cannot comprehend something you do not understand. So we measure a portion of comprehension that is reflective of what society requires. The true mystery lies in where or what does the light emanate? From where or what does the light emanate? From where or what does intelligence emanate? So this appears to be getting a bit complicated, but only the manner in which spirit is being described. If we go back to our original theory, the first time we presented this, when we go back to spirit is the life experience, then we discover that we have repeated the same thing in different ways. Spirit, life experience, light, intelligence, they have no limitations because they permeate all. Everything has a level of intelligence. Everything has some form of revelation. Everything has experience. Therefore, spirit is unity. Their expressions appear to be limitless in their variations, but they cannot be differentiated because they are all one. We cannot say before light there was darkness because the light reveals what is in the darkness. Without light, we don't know anything. Therefore, and as I said before, it, meaning spirit, has no part in an aeon. Time does not belong to it, for one which participates in an aeon has been formed by others. From a philosophical vantage, which is, what all this is about, an aeon is an emanation or a phase of the supreme deity. A phase like the moon moving through its waxing and waning aspects. You see it as a new moon. We don't see the new moon. It is a black void. It is a hole. But as it moves into the next phase, we see the crescent as it begins to wax towards the full moon. Then we have the half moon, and then the gibbous moon, and then the full moon, and then it begins to wane. Or is it waxing? These are all different phases. Spirit, life experience, does not exist in phases. Oh, we like to say, you've got the child, you've got the young adult, you have the adult, and then you have old age and death. Well, those aren't really phases because some people transition as a child. Some people transition as at a very old age. At any moment you can transition from this plane to the next. So spirit simply is the life experience. Our experience simply is. It does not happen in phases. It simply is because it all exists within the present. That's the only time it exists, is in the present. It is not power. Power is the ability to influence, and the life experience does not influence anyone. The life, it is the interpretation of the life experience that influences. It's my interpretation of what I've experienced that influences what I do next. So spirit is timeless because it only exists in the present. It cannot exist in the past. It cannot exist in the future. So the divine light is the illumination of our experience. It is the awakening. Until we experience illumination, we're in the dark. This is what the verse when Jesus says to one, let the dead bury the dead. The dead, meaning the ones who are asleep, bury the dead, the ones who have transitioned. Let the dead bury the dead. The light permeates us, but until we seek the light, until we see the light, we do not understand. And because we do not understand, we are limited. We are separated. And spirit is not about separation. Life is not about separation. They are about unity. Spirit, as the life experience, is primal intelligence, holistic and pervasive. It is not that we are intelligent beings, but that we are intelligence. We are intelligence. I want to thank you for allowing me to share. This is our donation portion of the service. We ask that you leave seeds with us because as you leave seeds with us, we leave seeds with others. You grow, we grow, and those where we leave seeds with grow as well. The bottom of your screen is the website. There are links there to take you to PayPal, or you can forward a donation, to make any payments to the Spiritualist Circle of Light. I do not receive any of that. It goes straight to the church. And I will say a prayer for those of you who may desire to leave seeds with us, who I should say will leave seeds with us, and we thank you for this. We thank thee, Father, Mother Gods, for the abundance that you have allowed us to gather so that we may share with others, so that we may share when we use it for those needs that are required, and that we may share when we assist others in their needs. And we know that these seeds, as they grow, will bear fruit, and that fruit will come to us in a fashion that is needed at a time that is needed. We thank thee in all things in the name of thy children. God bless. This is the announcement portion of our service. For announcements, please go to our website, birdandsky.com, BRDNSKY.com. We have a calendar there that lists all the events that we are providing, as well as other organizations. We are affiliated with the Independent Spiritualist Association. They have classes, streaming classes. All of this is via Zoom. You can find the check-in information at the website. Again, BRDNSKY.com. We're going to close our service with prayer. With collected minds, we are at the command of the divine, that we may obtain blessedness. Amen. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for allowing us to share. The opening and closing prayers are from the Svetasvatara Upanishad. Thank you very much, and God bless.